There we are.
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Good. I gather you're going to Bangkok sometime in July or August as well, or?
So end of June.
Okay.
End of June. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to put a note on DSG because
Right.
lots of people are asking me. So I'll put a note there. Then everyone
Great.
can see. I'll put the note today.
Good. Thank you.
Good.
สวัสดีค่ะคุณซาร่า
สวัสดีค่ะคุณสุภัสสร
สวัสดีคุณจนทาและก็ทุกๆคนนะคะคุณแอร์คุณจิ๋วค่ะ
สวัสดี
สวัสดีค่ะทุกคนค่ะ
and everyone
ค่ะกราบท่าน
Morning,
ค่ะ
Jilly and Nina and Kun Nopadom too. Everyone. Yes. And Sundara.
Sarah. Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Nina. Good to see you.
Hi.
Jan, are you here now?
Yes, สวัสดีค่ะ everyone.
Sawadika. I think
Sawadika.
we can
Sawadika.
สวัสดี
start
ค่ะ
now.
อาจารย์ค่ะ
Sorry, Kapajan.
Morning, Alberto.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Middle of the night, Alberto. Hello, Rich. Okay, does anyone have any topic they would like to start with today? Alberto, do you have anything, or Anne, or Kuntapatson, anyone? Jilly, at the end of the last session, you brought up a topic. Would you like to start with it today? Then we can be sure we won't run out of time.
Sarah, I can't remember what that was. So, but I could bring up another one, which is that this morning I was reading this little book and I was reading about the Eightfold Path. And it's basically saying up and that is the middle way, and which is to the awareness of the characteristic of any kind of rupa or nama which appears, even if it is agusala. That is the middle way. So if you have any comments about that, it'd be nice to hear. Thank you.
Yes, the middle way is the development of the path, the straight path down the middle to the realization of the truths and eventually the eradication of defilements. And the straight path, the middle path, is the understanding of whatever reality appears. It has to, in the beginning, be intellectual understanding, pariyatti understanding, to carefully consider and reflect on and understand different namas, different rupas as dhammas, as anatta, not I, not something. And it's only this careful considering and reflecting about different realities, different namas, different rupas, that leads to the direct understanding of those realities and eventually the realization of those dhammas, the clear understanding of them. So the middle way is actually what is happening now, the careful considering and reflecting, the beginning to understand what is true, what is right, no one there, no one to follow a practice, nothing to be done, but whatever appears now, no matter it's anger or boredom or seeing or hearing, what is heard, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, no selection at all, just whatever is apparent now. And I'm sure Ajahn will be glad to add more about the middle way as well, because it's a very important topic.
Yes, and I could just add a brief word before Ajahn speaks also. Middle in the sense of neither of the two extremes of asceticism on the one hand and sensual indulgence on the other. People have various beliefs about what is the way, the path to enlightenment or whatever goal they have in mind. A lot of people think that asceticism is part of that. That is to say, deprivation of the senses, and so forth, following a certain ritual or practice. But other people think that you don't have to do anything like that, and that there's no problem with unwholesome tendencies such as attachment and so forth. But the path taught by the Buddha, that is what you mentioned, awareness of currently appearing Dhamma or Rupa, is the middle way in between those two extremes. And I noticed the text you're reading from said, even agusala, when referring to namas. Of course, that should go without saying, because what is being understood when we talk about understanding the true nature of presently arising reality is the nature of this life itself. So it's not just identifying which moments are wholesome and which are unwholesome, for example, because that kind of identifying tends to lead to development of samatha. But what is important about awareness and understanding of true nature is that the true characteristic of these conditioned realities comes to be known. And it's understanding that life is nothing more than a succession of conditioned realities, whether they be nama or rupa, and if nama, whether wholesome or unwholesome. It's seeing this fact that is what leads to letting go of the wish for continued existence in the future. So that's what it's all about. Yeah, thanks, Gillian. Good question. And we'd like to hear from Ajahn. Ajahn, would you like to say some more on this question, please? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. You see that the point of listening, the goal of listening is not just listening and understanding, because it has to be understand the way to have more and more understanding of what is there understood now. For example, does anyone like to have lopa? See? Yes or no? To be truthful.
No. No, lopa is
Would you like to have lopa, attachment to really pleasant objects? Or it's dangerous? See, even just thinking about that, it's not in a day. So what's the point of listening? To understand clearly that the moment of attachment is harmful. When it arises, it wishes and wants to cling to get on and on and on, nonstop. And what is the result of more and more attachment? There can be moment of akusala deeds, take the other's possession to be yours, see? Even you know that it's not yours and it's belong to the others. But attachment is there. When it's great enough, strong enough, it can do such harmful deeds. That's why be truthful to the truth. What is not good, even just a little bit, because it can have more and more and more later until it's so strong. Should it be there on and on, or less and less? Without understanding the way or the path, having less lopa, having less dosa, there must be the understanding of the truth. Otherwise, who can see the danger of lopa and the danger of dosa and the danger of all kinds of akusa? That's why begin to be truthful from moment of hearing about the words of truth. Everyone has lopa, not just so slight, but so strong. Very, very strong in a day, from moment to moment in a day. Lopa is there, attached to that which appears, that which is seen, heard, and so on, all day, every day. So it has to be more and more unknowingly. But in order to get it or to eliminate it until it's completely, ultimately eradicated, never to arise again, is that better than have it more? They begin to understand the danger of attachment because not understanding that even that which is attachment is conditioned to arise. Why sometimes it's dosa and why sometimes it's loba. See, because of ignorance, not understand the truth of what is there at all. So begin to understand what is the ultimate truth of each moment. Otherwise, there cannot be any reality which can eliminate attachment at all. Just cling to the delicious food and so on. See, each meal, see, that's why understand what is true and what is useful is the best thing in life. To understand the danger. So the understanding the danger of akusala, gradually letting go, attachment to that, because attachment condition the wholesome deeds and speech, little by little. So the middle way is not to have loba or dosa, only by way of understanding ignorance, which is there as the base for all kinds of akusala and also kusala, any life, no matter what kind of life. See, that's why we learn to understand the truth and only the truth, understanding no one at all, because what arises is conditioned to arise right now. Without hearing each word about it, careful considering, can there be a little more understanding of the danger of life? It's just conditioned to arise and falls away, never to arise again in samsara. Only what is there now is conditioned to arise and gone, never to return. Each moment, eons and eons ago. So the reality, which we call it citta, the chief of experiences, what is there now experienced. It has arisen and fallen away eons and eons ago until now, this moment, and on and on and on, without any understanding of actually there is nothing, not anyone, not anything, because what is there now gone, never to arise again. Is that true?
Yes.
That's why we learn to understand the truth of each moment as it is, a moment of conditioned reality appearing and disappearing. And there must be a reality which experience what is there now appearing. For example, there is now, it seems like it's something all the time, a chair, but in truth, if it's not seen, how come? And what is seen is just a dot which impinge on the eye base. Condition a moment of seeing to arise just to see and gone. No bed, no curtain, no one, no thing at all. Is that true? Just the word of what is conditioned to arise and falls away, never to return at all. To be truthful to the truth is the beginning of understanding what is there as it is. No one can change it because actually what is there is conditioned, seeing, hearing. It's not mine or anyone at all, or anyone's at all. It's gone, never to arise again. That's why learn to understand the moment of what is there, to understand the truth of it gradually from hearing the word about the truth, no matter what. It can be learned, it can be studied, it can be understood that it's just a conditioned condition, a reality. No one and nothing at all. And this is the first round of realizing the truth little by little until it appears as it is, as one reality appearing now. There can never be many realities appearing together in a moment of experiencing. There must be only the object which is experienced, only one. So how many unknown objects, ignorance about what is there, taking that is gone, but it still keep on appear as something by way of nimitta, the shape and form, from one dot to another dot, from moment to moment as someone and something. See, the more understanding of the truth, it's the moment of letting go. So very slightly, secretly, subtly, see, of the idea of self. Thinking before we have discussion, they can be thinking about this and that, what has been learned, nama and rupa, just the word. But the truth is that it represents what is there now, to be known from moment to moment. So now, what is there now? To be truthful to the truth, Satya Barami, to understand whether what has been heard conform with this moment, the truth of it. Right now, the truth of it. Right now, what is there? See, it, it's just it's not just a moment or a reality, but what is there? When we say a moment, what is there? See, otherwise, how can there be moment of seeing, not moment of hearing, not moment of considering, not moment of understanding, not moment of begin to let go ignorance, which is conditioned for left or right way, which is wrong, because it has to be straight to the truth, straight to understanding. Otherwise, there must be attachment and aversion, not the middle path at all. So the path, what is it? To what? To where? See? To misunderstanding or to understanding. The path is to understanding what is there as it is. But still, all dhammas, no one can control, no one can make anything arise. But each reality is different by its nature, its function, its characteristic. So to understand what is there is a function of a reality which is opposite of ignorance. So what we take for anything, something, life, or someone are all dhammas, different dhammas conditioned to arise in a moment. What are they? Together, experiencing what is there now seen. See, begin to understand the subtlety of each reality right now. It's so subtle, because if there's no one who realized the truth, the word of truth cannot be heard from that one at all. So now what's the meaning of Buddha? Realizing the truth. The one who realized the truth. Buddha, beyond anyone's intellectual understanding or whatever, one thing that one understands how much, how great, how little understanding is. The understanding only understands the truth. Whether it's so little, whether it's more, a little more, from hearing, considering, never stop, depending on conditions. Otherwise, it just now heard about the word about this moment. That's not enough. But it's the way, 3 rounds. The first is to hearing, considering. Otherwise, how can that be the way to realize the truth? The truth is not just to be heard, but to develop, to see this is the way, and that is the way to understand the truth. So now, without 3 rounds of Ariya Satya, no middle way to realize the truth. That's why it's just not understanding the meaning, just the word means this and that, but to understand the truth it represents. Seeing is a reality without any word about seeing, sees that which is seen, see. At that very moment, only one moment, no one there at all, no thing, no thought about it, because the moment of seeing cannot do anything, cannot understand what is there. It just arises to perform its function, just seeing. Right now, no one. And what is seen cannot be anything at all. See, this is the beginning of the path, the first round of the truth about what is there from birth to death. And when there is the understanding of this moment of seeing enough, there can be understanding any moment of seeing in the future. From just a moment, now seeing again the same reality, but not the same one at all, by different conditions in a moment. That's all. So that condition of seeing arising now is not condition for the other moment of seeing later. Life is so very quickly short. So it's so short that if no one can realize the truth without understanding what is there from the very beginning, they are all different by conditions. And understanding one by one characteristic of a reality is the way, the middle way to understand what is there as it is. So the middle way is a path of understanding the truth, to realize the truth from the very beginning to the end. 3 rounds. Is it true?
Thank you. I think, yes, I'm just at the beginning, but I'll be thinking about what you said and the middle way, and yeah, trying to keep on the path by listening and considering and developing understanding.
At moment
And
of, yes, please.
go ahead, Ajahn. Thank you.
At moment of attachment, is it the middle way?
Yes, if that's what's happening, but the thing is to see it, to realize it.
But at moment of attachment, no understanding, it is attached to the object, see? Very,
Yeah.
very subtle. More and more until right now, what is there that can be known is only that which has arisen. See, it's gone. And it cannot be just at will or by wishes, but at moment of understanding a little more, it let go. Ignorance and attachment, which is so very subtle now, to that which appears unknown.
Yeah.
So the path and all kinds of Dhamma must be so very subtle, arising and falling away. Different ones, so complex.
And I'd just like to add, Julie, that the Noble Eightfold Path, which you asked about in your question, is so called because there are 8 factors to that path. And those 8 factors are commonly seen as being separate things that can be developed independently of the other factors. That in our understanding is a misconception of the path. The 8 factors are in fact 8 mental factors that co-arise at a moment of enlightenment. Yes. So at a moment of enlightenment, there is the first factor, right view, is the mental factor of panya. And the second factor of samasankappa, or right thinking, as it's sometimes translated, is the mental factor of vitaka, and so on. Other mental factors present, obviously, are going to be viriya, effort, sati, mindfulness, and ekagata, concentration, or samadhi. So that's what distinguishes the moment of path consciousness or enlightenment from the moments that precede it, which are mundane, and which follow it also. And the moment of path consciousness, enlightenment, is just momentary path, and then the result follows immediately. And then the normal mundane consciousness resumes, but without the presence of any akusala that has been eradicated by the path consciousness. But really, I wanted to stress that they are not separate disciplines to be practiced and developed independently. I know you do quite a bit of reading around your Dhamma study, and you'll find that sentiment comes across in quite a lot of what one reads. But it's not helpful because people get the idea of practicing to develop one or other of those path factors. It can't be done. It doesn't make sense, because if it could be done, then a person could, for example, develop concentration who'd never heard the Buddha's teaching, and they would be considered to be developing a path factor. So it's important to appreciate this is the 4th noble truth, the Noble Eightfold Path, and this is why it can be summarized as being moments of awareness and understanding, because it is moments of mundane or awareness and understanding which, when developed, culminate in the moment of path consciousness or enlightenment. Obviously, has to be developed to a very high degree for that to happen, but the development of the path begins now with any awareness and understanding that may arise by conditions of any reality, any conditioned reality that is appearing. And so that's why we talk about seeing and visible object, hearing and sound, and so on, and seeing them as they truly are. Thanks.
And just a very brief summary of what Jan was referring to at the end. She was referring to the understanding of one characteristic at a time as being the middle way, which is, I think, what you were reading out, similar to what you were reading out from my little book at the start. And she mentioned the 3 rounds, and this is what we were discussing about the pariyatti understanding, the right intellectual understanding, leading to the direct understanding, leading to the vipassana jnana, clear understanding, the Pativeda understanding, and eventually enlightenment. So these are the 3 rounds of the understanding of the 4 noble truths, deeper and deeper. So when she refers to the 3 rounds, this is what she's talking about. And in your last little brief conversation with her, you had mentioned about trying to keep on the right way by listening and considering. And Ajahn asked, at the moment of attachment, is it the middle way? The point, I think, is that as soon as there is any trying or wishing or thinking one should be on the middle way, Lobha is there instantly at those moments of wishing or trying. So this is why she asked, at the moment of attachment, can it be the middle way? So this is how it is so subtle and deep. So the understanding has to develop very naturally. And it's the opposite of trying to follow the Eightfold Path, trying to have better morality, trying to be a good person, trying not to have attachment, because the clinging to I, to oneself, is there at those moments. And as you say, and then when she asked at the moment of attachment, is it the middle way? And you said, yes, but it can be understood. Well, there's a difference between when attachment arises, it's clinging, no understanding. So it cannot be the middle way at those moments of attachment. But as you correctly said, there can be understanding of the attachment. There can be understanding of any Dhamma. And at the moment of understanding, it is the middle way. So that's why only at moments of understanding, not at the moment of attachment, can it be the middle way. And the attachment is more and more subtle. I mean, even now, after seeing or hearing, attachment comes in instantly. Attachment to what's seen, attachment to what's heard. And the reason Ajahn stressed that it's dangerous is because it accumulates and it leads eventually to all sorts of harmful deeds. But it's not a matter of trying not to have attachment or trying to keep on the way. Just let understanding develop naturally. So it's the letting go of clinging to oneself that is at the very core of the teachings. Letting go of I, letting go to something there, someone there. So just different dharmas, that understanding can gradually be more and more familiar with, begin to understand from listening and considering, but never by trying. Does that make a little more sense?
Yeah, thank you. It's going to be hard work, but now I'm just, yeah, I've listened and
yes, we don't have to, it's not as hard work as one might think, because as Sarah said, there's no need for any trying. And that is not the right approach. So it's more a case of letting it soak in over time, and that's why these occasions for discussion and sharing our understanding are so important. And also, we don't have to worry about staying on the path because it's just an impossibility. So much of the day is agusala. So we're free of that burden of wanting to stay on the path. And this is a common wrong view that people, or misconception people have about the development of the path, that it means just having kusala all the time, or a lot more kusala in one's day than previously. That is not actually a condition for the development of understanding of the true nature of what is appearing at the present moment, because as you said, if there's attachment, it can be the object of awareness by conditions. So understanding as it develops can understand any reality or any aspect of a reality, and that is the important thing, not how much kusala or agusala, not the ratio of kusala to agusala in one's daily life. So no need to try.
More understanding means less trying, less work, because it's like going with the flow, letting understanding develop with the flow rather than trying or working at it. Less and less burden, trying or thinking one should be doing something. Less burden of clinging to I as being so important. And does anyone else have any comments or questions they'd like to add?
Not a question, but I just want to say to Gillian that the good thing about the development of the path is that we really don't have to go anywhere. It's all here. It's happening here and now. There's no having to look for anything because it's all around us. Every single moment, there's something that can be known. And so, yeah, even the bad things can be known. The agusala needs to be known, as a matter of fact, but I think that's the beauty of this path, the Buddhist teachings, that we don't have to go anywhere. We are here. It's here and now. It needs to be known.
That was good. Thanks.
Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yes, you are, Anne.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I found the expression panya, understanding works its way, to be very helpful. There's no we to work our way through it. It's understanding that works its way. And when there's understanding, it will work its way.
And the others, Anne, are just working their way as well.
Yes, very, very, yes, thank you.
But
they all work their way.
Yeah, that's a good comment. Thank you.
Yes, both good comments.
And Alberto, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to add about the momentariness of the path, because it's about as Asita and Anne was saying, it's about now, and now is so short, which is it's not stable. It's like very thin line, like a balancing a seed on the point of a needle, something like that. It's very short time in which the the path can be in the right, it can be understood. It's not the past and not the future either. And it's so short, and it's now, and it's not easy to go straight because of thinking about the past and thinking about the future, and forgetting about the present moment. But hearing the teachings, we learn about the present moment. Otherwise, we wouldn't even consider it, wouldn't even thinking about it. And it's the beginning to go closer and deeper to the present moment, to the truth of the present moment. But it's not like one thing you can work on the path for all day or the whole life.
I'm just would like to ask whether you're suggesting, Alberto, that awareness and understanding are conditioned by thinking about the present moment, or can they just be conditioned by past accumulations and something one is considering that may not be directly related to what is appearing at the present moment?
Yeah, because if only the Buddha is only the teaching of the Buddha can bring you to the present moment, to the reality, which is only so short. It's only in the present moment. So we need to hear about it to begin to think about it, even just begin to think.
The present moment is actually a concept, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, sure, it is a concept. It is pariyatti, understanding at pariyatti level of intellectual level of the truth of the teachings, of the first step to develop the path. Maybe it's not even the path yet, but it's like getting closer to the path, getting on the right direction to get on the path. Maybe something like that. Not,
well, just to give an example, there could be awareness of thinking about the past, couldn't there? A moment of thinking about the past or the future.
right. Yeah, but
The reality of that moment is the thinking. So I'm not sure that we should place particular emphasis on thinking about the present moment as a condition for having awareness or awareness arising. I think a more important general condition might be a reflection on the Dhamma taught by the Buddha, different aspects of it, rather than focusing on the present moment, which seems more in line to me with the person who's trying to develop kusala and have less akusala, samatha, develop samatha.
yeah, you mean samatha, but yeah. But that's not even samatha is not the path taught by the Buddha, is it?
Correct. That's my point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like closer to the path than Akusala for sure, even if it's not the.
I'm not sure. Well, the factors of enlightenment that he mentioned, as we know, are association with the wise, hearing the true Dhamma, reflection on what has been heard, and then the arising of awareness, actual understanding. So that reflection on what has been heard, the Dhamma that has been heard, doesn't have to involve necessarily thinking about the present moment. It could be suggested that there's an idea there of, if we think that thinking about the present moment is an aid to the arising of awareness and understanding, then there's going to be the tendency to try and do that rather than to think about the past or the future. But it doesn't matter what one's thinking about at any given moment. If the understanding is there, it can condition awareness of whatever reality, any reality that may be appearing.
Yeah, I think what reminds me what when Ajahn says about being attached to what is not there anymore, or thinking about something which is not there, which means believing that you can get it somehow. Otherwise, why would you think about it? It's because of not understanding the truth that the thing which we think in the future is not under any control. We cannot control it in any way. Anything which is in the past, it's gone. So it's not wholesome. It's not wholesome to think about it, and neither the one which isn't arisen yet. It's like wishful thinking or like it's like everyday life. We do all these sort of things continuously, but that's why it's not the path. It's the samsara, right? The opposite of the path.
Thanks, Alberto. Would anyone else like to join in this discussion? Or
I
yes,
have a comment for Alberto. Alberto, do you sometimes find that during the day for me, occasionally the thinking will come. If I'm doing something, it's just here, it's just now. But then it's kind of gone, because I think that trying to follow up on that thought is just, well, it's just trying to have it back or something. But does that ever happen for you, that you just remind yourself in the day, hey, it's just here and now, there's nothing else?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like this most of the day, or maybe the whole day. It's lost in thinking, being lost in thinking about it.
Yeah, it is just thinking, I know, but I sometimes think it's a good thought to have, and then it's gone.
Oh, right. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, if it's wholesome, I don't know. Can be anything, because Chitta thinks so.
Right. And it thinks about anything. doesn't it? Anything at all.
It's a lot.
All day.
Yeah.
But I think I understand what you mean, azita, by every once in a while, seemingly out of nowhere, but it's obviously by conditions, there will be a thought about a reflection on something to do with the Dhamma. And that seems like it genuinely appeared. And as soon as you sort of, oh, yeah, right, and then start thinking about it, you know, you're trying to drive the thoughts, drive it somewhere. The trying.
Yeah, the trying comes in. Yeah. But then, hey, you can then have that thought, there's trying.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
it's so
Yeah, that can be subtly noticed too.
Yeah. Oh, there, I'm trying again.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think the main point in the discussion between Alberto and Jonathan is, as Alberto says, it's true that thinking about what happened yesterday, what's going to come, and this and that, it's all useless akusala thinking, but it's conditioned that way. The thinking is conditioned. There can be understanding of thinking, there can be understanding of loba when it appears. So it's not a matter of just thinking about the present, because thinking thinks about all kinds of nonsense. So it's the understanding that's important, understanding of thinking as it is. It's just another Dhamma of no importance and gone. Thinking about loba, no importance and gone. So it's the understanding that develops, not the, otherwise there can be a subtle kind of, like Jilly referred to, trying to change, trying to stop the thinking, trying to only think in the present, and that's the wrong path, however subtle it is.
Thank you, Sarah. Always good, right on the spot comments from you. Good one.
I appreciate your comments too, and Jilly's good topic that she's brought up, because that little trying, however slight, it comes in so easily. So the wrong path arises so very frequently, even in a Dhamma discussion. Yes.
Yes.
I find though, you can hear me? Yes. Good. Sorry, I've got it's on my phone here. It's not easy. There can be all sorts of thinking throughout the day. You know, I mean, that's what our day consists of, with no thought, no anything about the Dhamma, and then suddenly that thought can arise. It's sort of the interruption. It's an interruption of the, you know, the practically useless thinking that occurs most of the day. I think that can be noticed.
It's good to know that it's like that. It's good to know that most of the thinking is useless and kusala, and that's just how it is. There's no point fussing about it, because that's just more dosa being accumulated. It's just the way it is. And like you say, when wise consideration or understanding develops, it's unexpected and no idea in advance what will be the object. It can be anything. So
that's right.
That's the beginning to let go, letting go of the idea of I think, letting go of the idea it should be another way.
Yes.
As you said, letting panya work its way, just works its way naturally. And the more understanding, the more confidence, the less idea there is of trying to change it, trying to make it the present moment, trying to have less lopa, because that's all hindering the
going the wrong way.
The natural way for panya to work its way. Yeah.
And there's the, you know, the object of thinking, there's so much attachment to it. So much attachment, always considering it. Well, not considering it in Dhamma terms at all, but there's so much attachment to what we think is this, what we call a subject of what we're thinking.
And that's why Ajahn asked Jilly, do you like having attachment? Would you like to have more and more? And Jilly's first response was, I can't remember whether she answered yes or no, but we kind of think that we're not enjoying the attachment. But of course, there's enjoyment of the attachment because there's pleasant feeling. So one enjoys having that pleasant feeling of attachment. So following the stories on and on and on endlessly because of enjoying that pleasant experience. But when it brings the grief, the sorrow, the unhappiness, everyone would like to get rid of it, not appreciating it's the enjoying the attachment that brings all that grief. Does anyone else have anything they would like to add before Ajahn adds more comments?
I just want to say one more thing, and that's you mentioned a little while ago about the accumulations, moment by moment, there's accumulating. And occasionally that thought will come to me if I've said something not kind or even something kind. It's like the accumulations there, it's gathering. And that's the thing. The accumulations is what keeps the cycle going on and on. So it's often a good reminder. Okay, this is accumulating. I'm accumulating more agusala, and it's like a little pinch. Will wake up to yourself or something like that. Yeah, it's good to know that these things, that this is what happens. This is how the samsara goes on and on.
And of course, in truth, it's not you or me or anyone accumulating anything, but that tendency of meanness or the tendency of clinging or the tendency of kindness. They
That's
accumulate, those
accumulation.
tendencies accumulate. So it becomes a little more common, a little more, when one's with people, more easier or more natural to be kind rather than mean. But it just works its way, just like Panya works its way. And it comes back to the understanding. Otherwise, there would be no idea of what is useful in life and what is not. Like someone I knew died during the week, sudden death, and friends' reactions is, "Oh, well, make the most of today, have a great time, enjoy yourself, enjoy every moment." This is a natural reaction because no understanding of the danger of attachment and the great value of kusala of any kind.
And just on that note, I noticed Mom Betty wants to come in, but just on that
Yes.
note of, this will be quick, Mom Betty, that note of, death can come at any moment. I've said that to people, and I find that a lot of people have taken offense at it. And so I've had to learn to zip my mouth now and not be so almost flippant about it. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that. Just watch what I say.
It's not always appreciated. I've had the same
Exactly,
experience. Yeah.
But even if it's meant in a helpful way, the other reactions by accumulations. So we don't know. Betty, go ahead.
Yes. Hello. So happy to be here today. I've missed several sessions. John, I was so intrigued by your comment that the present moment is actually a concept. And it's so true. And I'd like you to kind of elaborate on that a bit more.
Well, I think that says it all, actually. But what do we mean when we refer to the present moment? I'm not saying we shouldn't be referring to the present moment. What we mean normally in the context of the Dhamma and the development of the path is understanding any reality that is appearing at the present moment. But it's actually superfluous to add those words at the present moment, because any reality appearing already says it. It can't be appearing any time other than at the present moment, but that they are just words that we add for emphasis, I suppose.
Right, right.
But they do sometimes lead to a misunderstanding among other people that there has to be thinking about the present moment, for example. Yeah. So anyway, I'm glad you appreciate the significance of that, and keep in mind that it's always about the conditioned realities that are appearing, not so much about
Absolutely.
the present moment as such. Yeah.
So it is a concept when we name it this way, and we say, yes, all right, that's the present moment. But I thought of that, and I appreciate your comment on that.
Or not the previous present moment.
It's gone, that's for sure.
Thanks, Betty.
Thanks a lot, John.
Ajahn, would you like to come in at this stage? We've had quite a few topics discussed since you last spoke, and I'm sure you have something to add. Thank you.
Are we now talking about the Noble Path? First round of the Noble Path.
I think so.
To understand clearly, what is it? We can say, right understanding. Without it, how can there be more understanding of what is there in a moment, from moment to moment at all? That's why when we talk about the Four Noble Truths and the last one, the path leading to realize the truth, the Noble Path, what is it? Understanding what is there. Otherwise, how can there be any understanding of anything at all? Because what is there is so real, it's now appearing. So it can be studied, it can be known. And that is the Noble Path leading to know what has to be known, and it can be known when there's a little more understanding, more and more understanding from the first round to the third round. That's why just see, and there's no understanding of its nature of seeing, that it now sees. No thought about it. And what is seen, we say all are dhammas, all are anatta. It cannot be anything or anyone at all. And that is the goal of realizing the truth, because the truth is there. What is seen cannot be taken to be anything at all, because it's only that which is seen. So very, very short, so very, very tiny, so very, very quickly it's gone. And condition the other moments, taking it for something by its nimitta, short or long, high or low, and different colors, and so on, without understanding the ultimate truth. It's just a reality, little by little, by the first round, understanding, not only seeing, no matter what we have been talk about, thinking, liking, disliking, many, many words about the truth, all are realities, unknown realities. If we don't listen again, carefully consider again from the word which is heard, not just follow the word, but to understand the truth of the word, which is so very subtle. Because, for example, Dhamma, is it now? Dhamma, everything is Dhamma. And what does it mean? Nothing or no one at all. Nothing is there. Only that which is conditioned to appear when it arises and it falls away instantly. Is that the Noble Path leading to realize the truth of Dhamma and Anatta? That's why I just heard about the word, the Noble Path, the right understanding. Not enough. What else in it? Because what is there without understanding, it still be conditioned for the other moment, on and on and on when it's proper and right time for it to condition any reality. It now condition this moment. That's why just learn a little more about the truth of what is there, not just that somebody or some words, but as much as we can understand it when it's there, by way of hearing, considering, even its intellect understanding. But it is conditioned to have firm confidence that is so true, no one at all. That's why hearing about any word of the teachings, it's moment of considering the very, very subtle reality, little by little, to go down deep and deeper to realize the truth that it's now, whatever is there, gone. But it has to be known one by one. So no matter what is there can be known when it appears. That which is seen can be studied now to understand it in truth. It's just that which is seen. Nothing can be seen, only that reality which can impinge on the eye base, condition the seeing to arise, to see it at the base, the eye base only. See, a moment, who knows? To let go is not as we take it for a picture, person, and things at all. Understand it so subtle reality as it is will condition letting go, attachment to cling to it as something or someone, little by little, more by more understanding or more firm confidence, little by little, about each word about the truth that is there. For example, there is feeling as well now. If we don't talk about it, it cannot be heard and thought about as it's there as well, but it's not known. So it's I, or that which is not known as it is, or something there all the time in life. So who can imagine how dark it is at moment of no understanding of the truth right now, arising and falling away? And the light, so very, very light, hearing the teaching, considering, understanding the ultimate truth must be quite different from what is now appearing. Seeing at that moment just the sign of seeing only, and what is seen, the sign of that which is seen. So very short and then gone. And that has to be known, to be realized, because is it true? The world is light when they seeing only. So what is seen is there appearing as just that which is seen so short, and seeing the nimitta of many moments of seeing can be realized as seeing is that which is there sees. That's all. No number of seeing, no thought about anything, but it's that which appears can be known as it is. Whatever arises must have nimitta of that when it's there, appearing. So whatever arises and falls away appear as a nimitta of that, only that. Nimitta of smell, nimitta of taste, because how many moments of what is there arising and falling away, unknown. For example, no understanding of seeing at all while we are talking about what we are talking now. See, it's the seeing, but what is there? Ignorance. So Buddha taught in details about each moment. so that there cannot be any doubt about the truth of what is there as just a different kinds of reality. What kind of Dhamma, what kind of Rupa, they are real when it's there, but not known as it is. That's why there is the moment of realizing the truth, but not now. The 3 rounds of understanding. And when we talk about the Noble Path, what are they? Samadhi. Is there now enough samadhi to understand the truth of what is there, little by little, to have confidence of that it's not there anymore? Because the other moment followed is different from that which is gone. So learn more about whatever is there when it's there. For example, sanya, memory of Vedana, feeling, or other more reality like attachment is there, unknown, very slight degree, or it's known when it's strong enough, but it's there. If it's not kusla, it has to be akusla. And if it's not kusla nor akusla, it is vipaka, the result of the deeds that has been done. And when it's not the kusla, akusla, vipaka, it is another kind, kiriya. See, we learn to understand the truth, not try to realize it beyond anyone's control or imagination at all, but it condition a little more, letting go of clinging, gradually, unknowingly, so very subtly. That's why we learn about what is there, the truth of it, the characteristic of it, the function of it, and the proximate cause for the arising of it. See, just about the path, never enough. What else is the path? See, we don't talk about sati, but it's there. Without sati, how can there be any studying of the characteristic of that as it is to be realized little by little? Is that any moment in life or not yet, or just begin sometimes, or a little more, in a year, in a month, in a day? Otherwise, they are the words about the truth. It doesn't lead to the second round of understanding the noble path. The noble path, so very subtle, no one at all are different kinds of Dhamma. If it does not show up, appears as it is, no one can imagine the truth, the ultimate truth of what is there now appearing and what is that we are talking about. Darkness, no understanding of what appears because it appears by way of nimitta, to take it for atta, not anatta at all. So just live in the world of atta when anatta does not appear to be known. Hardness is there. Atta of my hand, something touched and so on. No understanding of the truth. It's gone. So very quickly replaced by the next moment, depending on conditions, whether it's just that again or the different ones. Right now, some sounds suddenly appear unexpectedly by conditions and then gone. The truth is that no matter what is there appearing, it's unexpectedly arising by condition and gone. Does it conform with the other words of the truth by the Buddha's words? Is it true again and again to be truthful? Moment of detachment, little by little, to take it for something or I. Any moment, no one at all. But we think of I'm alone. But in truth, I'm alone, not thinking about the others. But it's still I am alone. But in truth, no one there alone. Only one reality arises, performing its function, or only one reality appears at a time only. Only when it appears is there. And even it's there appearing, many moments of arising and falling away of that nimitta, of one characteristic of a reality. See the hand, nimitta. Look at it, nimitta. In truth, that which is seen. So have satya parami, being truthful to the truth, no matter how deep it is, how subtle it is, but it's so true. So from moment to moment of understanding is the path, samadhi, to go deeper and deeper, only one object at a time. When they are all together, it seems to be something by nimitta. No understanding of one moment, of one reality appearing right now. So many moments of what is there around appearing. In truth, no one, the noble path, understanding a little more that different realities, no matter its Dhamma, the reality which experiences the object, and the rupa, it's conditioned to arise to be the reality which cannot experience anything. So what about my body? See, I'm sitting. The seeing is not hard. But what is there touched? What is there hardness is to be known. But it's not known yet. So the first round of the noble path, beginning to see the very deep and very subtle reality of what is there from moment to moment. Every moment is so subtle. What are there? Buddha taught about different realities. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. They are now unknown. But listen to the truth. Without the idea of I, what is touched is hardness, coolness, softness. What is there? Only from life to life. It's there by conditions. Everything is so close, only to what we take for body and mind, citta, cetasika, and rupa. So it's not just talk about it, but each word is there, so close to be known. Citta is there, not far away at all. So the moment of getting close, opanajiko, to understand the truth of what is there. Not just the word, getting closer and close to what? To what is there which is so close, not far away at all. Seeing at the eye, So the gem, the precious reality, the virtues of the Buddha, the virtues of Dhamma, and the virtues of Sangha. Are we now on the way to the virtue of the Sangha? With patience, parami, so deep, but it can be studied, it can be understood, it can be closer to realize the truth right now. Not by anyone, but understanding makes its way. Understanding what is there now, where is it? So when it's there, no one at all, hardness cannot be mine, my finger, my tooth, my arm, nothing, my hair, only hardness there. The world at that moment is hardness and the reality which experience hardness. So hardness appear without the reality which experiences it. Hardness cannot appear at all. No one. So it's the virtue of Sangha beginning to understand, and right understanding works its way. It develops more understanding very gradually, a little firmer each moment of hearing and considering. But comparing to eons and eons, 1,100 years ago, no understanding enough at all. That's why parami, not just only one moment or one life or one eon, more than that, to be truthful to the truth. What about now? No one, even moment of attending to the characteristic which has been heard is a reality. So Buddha taught about each reality, all of them, different degrees, from moment to moment, never be the same moment at all. But it conditioned the next moment. Like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, was there any listening to the truth? And what is now? A little more unknowingly. That's why the factors to understand the truth has to be parami, wholesomeness with understanding as the base to condition any moment of developing what is there in life, depending on understanding the truth, more or less, by conditions. So today is that a little lesser and lesser attachment to the food, to what is seen, to what is smelled, see, or the same or a little more unknowingly each moment. Upanisya. See, we talk about conditions not in word by its name, but to understand the truth, how life is conditioned from moment to moment by what kinds of pattaya. See, that's why the more understanding about the truth, the more letting go very gradually, and understanding can be more when there are more kusala moments in life. But akusala more and more in life, how can there be a little more understanding of the truth? Because more and more akusala means more and more ignorance of the truth. No one knows. Only right understanding, so truthful to the truth. How much understanding about the word and the truth. Someone tried to translate the word to understand the meaning, the way the grammar is, to make it known as such and such meaning. But in truth, it's just about what is there. Even it's wrong word, for example, I am not good in English, but I try to make the other understand the truth in just very simple word that everyone can understand. For example, now, see, not at the moment. What is there now? Always no thought about it. But the Buddha words, what can be known, what can be studied, what can be realized, is only that which has been conditioned now to appear. Only, see, only gone. No understand of moment of on and li, different moment. So life goes on by conditions, so many uncountable moment of ignorance and akusala. So the moment of kusala, conditioned by understanding, develop against the storm of akusala, the current of storm of akusala. See, that's why it needs parami, panya parami, right understanding. So true to the truth that we are talking about that which is there now or anything in life, to understand it, to not forget the truth. If it's not be studied by sati and right understanding of one characteristic of reality at a time, it's not the noble path to understand what is there one by one. So they cannot be mixed as I or something anymore. What is there in life can be known. What is breath? What is Sankhara-Dhamma? Attachment or dosa? Or more than that, which hasn't been known if Buddha didn't teach about it. That's why each word should be studied to understand the real truth which is there, appearing gone without any understanding. If there's no understanding, then any word of truth just represent the reality right then. For example, seeing, hearing, thinking, liking, pleasant feeling, painful feeling, and so on. All are there, are dhammas. The first round, so sure, not just the word or the translation or just the meaning, but it points to the truth right then. Touching now is there. When there's no thought about anyone or my arm or my leg, it's there, hardness, for sure. And that which experience it, that's all. And that's the world. In split seconds, arising and falling away, unknowingly all the time, even right now. So do not underestimate the very deep, very subtle. What is there is so natural, so common. Nobody can make it different at all. Nobody can change the way it is. But there can be the understanding. It's not there anymore as soon as it does not appear. And the truth is, which is more subtle than that. Even now, what appears So many moments of that which arises and falls away. That's why there are so many realities, many different cetasika and different kinds of citta. But what appears seeing, citta before seeing, citta after seeing, do not appear at all. What appears now, very shortly, but it still appears as it's there all the time. So the world does not appear as it is. So what is meant by enlightenment is not just a word. It's a truth that can be realized gradually, closer and closer and closer to understand it. The skin until deep down to the bone. The truth is there, covered up by the idea of what is there appearing as something. The word of atta. Is it right or wrong? When it's the word of atta. Not true at all. Because what is taken for something gone instantly. Until the word appears as it is. Anatta. As it is seeing, as it is hearing, as it is thinking, as it is liking, as it is mana, and so on. Whatever is there in life is real by conditions. Is that true? Again,
Definitely
A
true.
little bit true than yesterday, Ajahn.
And perhaps we can continue next time because it's important topic always. What is
Every day is a
conditioned
bit
now
true.
is definitely real.
Is time
Sorry,
up?
Alberta.
Talking up, Ajahn.
Yes.
Is there time up?
9:04.
So,
but it's
Tika, Ajan.
very
Yes.
very
Yeah.